Hey guys, welcome to Dialed MTB again. Here we are with the Yeti 160E. I almost said SB. It's not SB anymore. It's just 160E. Mine's not quite a C1 build. That's what it's based off of, but different wheels, drivetrain, C-post, and all that stuff. So I just wanted to do a quick introduction. Bike should be pretty sweet. I'm stoked for it. So let's just hurry up and just get to the fun stuff. Go up, ride it. This is going to be a first ride, so just a first impression video, nothing crazy. So, see how it is, and get on the trails. Alright, it's a little bit snowy slash windy right now. Snowy slash rainy. It is windy also. But hopefully the lens doesn't get too blurry. But this is my first descent. Oh yeah, I already can tell this bike is pretty dang stable. Man, it's a comfortable bike. It's a size medium. It's a 460 millimeter reach. I put a 40 mil stem on it. It comes stock with a 50 mil. So shorten it up a little bit, but I like the feel of that 40 mil stem. Not so much for the shortening it up, but kind of the characteristics that it gives the bike in the corners for me. I've been putting 40 mil stems on all my bikes, and I only go back to the 50 if it just doesn't feel, if it feels too cramped. All right, so I have climbed about 2,000 feet so far, and I've used both the climb switch and no climb switch on the roof shock. And I don't know, I'm kind of torn. If you're on a smooth gravel road or something for, I'd say probably at least 1,000 feet of climbing, yeah, turn it on. If not, then I'd say probably just leave. Okay, so I tried to do a first ride impression on my first ride, and the weather got way too bad. It was super windy, and you wouldn't have been able to hear anything I was saying. And then second, it turned into like almost a mini little blizzard. The trails just got completely covered in snow. This was higher up, higher elevation, but that's where all the good trails are for e-bikes. And yeah, so anyways, I didn't really get an amazing feeling for the bike on that ride because it was snowy and super windy and wasn't very great. It's a little breezy today, but there's a little bit more coverage around here, so hopefully it'll sound all right. So I'm stoked to get some more riding in on it today and see how it feels. Alright, so I wanted to start it off with a kind of a flowy trail today and get warmed up. They did finally open up one of the really fun trails here called Shake and Bake, so we're gonna get to that later. But I just wanted to kind of talk about how like maneuverable this bike is, and that's why I wanted to ride on this trail, because it doesn't feel like 50 pounds are underneath me right now going through these corners. Feels like barely more than my SB 130 is. Alright, so I was just getting into the wheelbase on this medium. It's 1200 39.7. So like I said, they do some very specific numbers, which is nice. It's pretty windy, but hopefully it goes away here pretty quick. All right, so it's a little windy out here. I guess I should have checked the Facebook page again this morning, because it looks like the trail that I wanted to ride on is not open. So that's a bummer, but we gotta do some jumpy, flowy stuff today, which brings me to this bike jumps pretty dang good. Once again, because like I said, when it was like that in that little switchback section, it's so, like, it feels like it's just so flickable, which is impressive for 160, 170 millimeter travel e-bike, and 50 pounds. They say it's 49.1 or something, but man, this thing is really good. My girlfriend actually got a Heckler 29, so that brand new one that just came out. So pretty sure she'll let me ride that, and I'm gonna check that thing out, and maybe I'll do like a first ride on that one, and then maybe once we have them for a while and I get a few rides in on it, I'll do a comparison video between the two, because I am really curious to see how they compare. I will say the fit and finish on this Yeti 160E is a notch nicer than what the Santa Cruz Heckler is. Definitely just small things, but multiple small things that all add up, and I think just puts it into its own next category nicer, which is definitely, I think you should expect that, because I mean, a C1 is $10,700, same suspension basically as an S kit, which is Heckler, which is $9,700, so $1,000 less. And I personally like GX better than SLX. I think obviously it's more expensive, it's a step nicer, and like even in the Shimano category, it's more closer to the XT. But yeah, so as far as value on this bike, probably not the best value if you're looking at components, but if you're looking at the whole package as a whole, man, you can tell that they spent that 5 or 6 years. It seems like everyone kind of couldn't decide if it was 5 or 6 years that they spent working on this thing, but holy crap, man, this thing is nice. I put it all together, and it was really nice build. I kind of did a very random build on this. I have XO1 drivetrain. I have Reserve 30 carbon wheels with Industry 9 Hydra hubs. I have a 38 factory fork that's going to be here in a couple days. So I am running the performance suspension and the Fox Float X rear shock that comes on the C1, but a lot of other different things. They're working on some trails over here, which is cool. Some, like, I think this is like supposed to be like the rock all weather trail or something, I'm not sure. Looks like it's all under construction right now though. But overall for this bike, oh, we got a lot of brush in here. Overall for this bike, it's just a really fun e-bike. I mean, I think you can go faster than you would want to go or expect that you can go on this bike on some radio terrain, which I got to do some on my last video, but like I said, it was so windy and snowy that the recording would have been terrible. Yeah, gosh, it's a very well thought out and put together bike, I think. So I'm pretty excited to keep riding this thing. Okay, let's go ahead and break this bike down a little bit. It's obviously a great climber, even for an e-bike. I know e-bikes are great always because they have a motor, but it's exceptionally well. And then descending is an absolute blast. It can definitely go down anything you want. I am pretty dang positive. And then if you just want to go ride some kind of flowy trails, faster trails like this, it is an absolute blast for that also, which this does have a 64.5 degree head tube angle, which, I mean, it's not very extreme anymore. There's bikes out there with 63 and probably even lower than that for e-bikes. But man, it's just so, the whole package is just very comfortable and feels good. So I love this bike. I am super glad it's mine, and hopefully the Heckler 29 doesn't make me think different, but I have a very small chance of, I think there's a very small chance of that actually happening, that I'd rather have that bike. So if you guys have not, you should like and subscribe to this video if you liked it and you enjoy my content in general. It's pretty sad, for me at least, like less than 1% of my viewers are subscribed to the channel. So I don't know if I just haven't talked about being subscribed very much, but if you could do that, that would be absolutely awesome. If not, that's your thing, completely all good. But anyways, yeah, like and subscribe, and like always, get out and ride.